Hello there. This is a UFO landing in northwest Canada. Well, I can understand it's northwest. Never been to Canada. A place called Nepawin, Saskatchewan, or something. Let me just check that. Nepawin, Saskatchewan. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. Probably well not, obviously. But it's sort of documented, but not very well. Um, I wrote this story down, copied it off something many years ago, and I don't think there was names or dates. It just said 1933, and it was summer but night time. And what I can understand of this story, what I remember of it, it wasn't much detail, but it was still good. It was still, that's why I thought I'd mention it. And it was like say 1933 summer, and it was midnight, but it's been going on for a good week or so. And so, what had happened? Because there were a lot of like homesteaders and forest rangers what got on the towers for the past week. They've been spotting very bright lights on the floor everywhere along the, and it's all marshland. Mostly, it's low-lying marshland. What I can understand up there, and forest. And so it was hard to get around. Nobody could get close to anything and study anything because it was there were no roads. This is 1930s, and they were just branching out up top of Canada. What I can understand from that. Anyway, what had happened? There was two chaps and a lady thought, oh, let's go and have a look. And they planned it because they heard all these stories, and so they jumped in a pickup truck with some gear and went up. And by the time they saw the light, but so they couldn't get up to it. There were no roads or anything, and it all marshland and boggy, and so they got as far as they could on the trail, and they gets out of the vehicle and keeping an eye on the light. So, and they chased round through the forest and got as far as they could to it, which close enough actually to visually see it, But it took them some time because they had to go around and miss all the marshland, and then they saw it. They didn't describe the size, unfortunately. Well, I remember, just describe the shape. It says oval shape, a dome at top and a round belly, and didn't describe lights. Just said it was very bright. It described the colours or anything, but maybe they were far enough back, just not to be too clear. But they're adamant they saw it. All three of them did, and yeah, and they saw it for quite some time. And the interesting thing about it, they described it had portholes, but couldn't see through the portholes. But it had a central door which was open, and they described it had three legs, under legs at the base, and he said there were these at least a dozen um, alien beings, what looked human, a little bit smaller than an average person, male, running up and down the steps. There wasn't levitating; they were actually running up and down the steps. And this described it as if they was trying to mend it, as if it looked like it broken down. They were all running around in such a fashion that trying to mend it, but they did in such quietness. It was still bright, even as it stood. This one, what they saw, was on the ground, and it was still bright. It was still very bright. There were no flashy lights going around though. Anyway, these um, alien beings were running up and down the stairs, and they could see through the door, and they could see them running around as if frantically they were trying to do something. And as they were running around the ship, they just presumed it had broken down, and they were trying to mend it. And they watched that for, I think it was half an hour, so a good length of time. So they thought, well, let's go and go round and try and get in the truck and go round other area. But as they did, got, thought, well, they don't want to be there too long because they're getting a bit frightened. Anyway, so they went back down to the pickup truck, which is quite a good distance away, got in it, and then realised there wasn't enough fuel to get where they wanted to. So I thought, well, we've done enough. Let's get off. Let's see. And website they get off and thought, shall we get a camera? And in them days it was a box Browning camera, which one of them borrowed. So they went back up that same night, and it had gone. So by the time they went the following night to see if it was there, and it still wasn't. So what they did, they went, I think it was the third day, I can understand third day when it was lighter in the day, and then they took photographs, and they took photographs of the landing, the 3 marks, the scorch area, the big scorch area, and everything basically. And then I think they may have gone to the local media. I'm not sure if they went to the police, but after a bit they just got scoffed and laughed at. And don't forget this is 1930s, northern Canada, and after a bit the media, just papers, wouldn't have anything to do with them. They just laughed at them. And the photos, I can only presume what they took, because I've never seen any of the photos materialise. They just got discarded, probably because they got laughed at, saying, "Well, it's all blimey, let's not mention it anymore." But the adamant, they was pushed it through and tried quite some years until they probably blew in the face. I thought, let's try and forget about it. But yeah. But if everybody knows any more about that story, or pictures, if you've got those photos or copies of them, that'd be brilliant. Yeah, it'd be nice to see them. That'd be very good. I'll just tell you the place. It's called Nipawin. I'm saying it wrong. It's Nipawin, and it's where the sighting was. And it's Saskatchewan. So I spell that Saskatchewan. It's a big old name, is that? In 1930 it was done. But it's, I say, if anybody's got any great information, that'd be great. Honestly, would I like this one, but not much on it. But it still sounds very good. So that's what I thought I'd say. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thank you. Hope you like that. If you've got any opinions on it, please let me know. That'd be brilliant. Thank you. Bye.